let's cut to some of your major points you make running for president. Climate change, I do believe we have to do something about this.
Jimmy, I don't want to get you too nervous or get the audience too nervous. But with the science...
When you get quiet, I do get nervous.
All right. All right, then I'll be very quiet. What the scientists are telling us is, in fact, they have underestimated the severity and the speed in which climate change is damaging not only our country, but the entire world. And if we do not act boldly, and I got to tell you, we have introduced the most comprehensive climate change proposal ever introduced by a candidate for federal office. If we don't have the guts to take on the fossil fuel industry and tell them that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet, and I got to tell you, according to the scientists, the world that we're going to be leaving our kids and our grandchildren is going to be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. And I think we have a moral responsibility to make sure that does not happen.
I know you have grandchildren, and you told me earlier that you love them very much and that you love spending as much time as you can.
They're the joy of my heart.
Yeah. And you're going to see them this Thanksgiving, right?
We'll see all 7 of them this weekend.
Yeah. And so this is a kind of a thing you're doing for them as well, huh?
Absolutely. And, you know, as a parent and as a grandparent, and I just don't want any parent or grandparent to have to be in a position where 20 or 30 years ago, little ones or your kids are asking you, didn't you know what was going on? Didn't you know what climate change was doing? Why didn't you do something about it when you knew about it? I don't want any of us to be in that position. It is we're talking about rising sea levels, which will inundate major cities in our own country and around the world before the end of the century. We're talking about more drought. We're talking about more extreme weather disturbances. We are talking, Jimmy, about the United Nations telling us that hundreds of millions of people will be climate refugees. They're going to be forced to leave the land that they're on now because there is no drinking water, there is no land to grow their crops, and they're going to have to go elsewhere, causing incredible national security issues and wars all over the world. So this is a very, very major crisis. And as president, you know, what I will try to do is to not only transform our own energy system, but lead the world, because this is a global crisis. And maybe say to countries all over the world that instead of spending $1.8 trillion on weapons of destruction designed to kill each other, maybe we should pool our resources and fight against our common enemy, which is climate change.
Another point you've made is you want to have Medicare for all.
Yes, absolutely.
How will you do that? How is that possible?
Well, the question is, how is it not possible? We are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people. We are now spending twice as much per capita as any other major country on earth. We're spending $11,000 on health care for every man, woman, and child, and yet we end up with 87 million people who are uninsured or underinsured. We end up with 30,000 people every year who die because they don't get to a doctor on time. We end up with 500,000 people going bankrupt because of medically related debts. Can you imagine people going bankrupt because they were diagnosed with cancer? That is disgraceful. That is cruel. And what we are proposing right now is to start off with Medicare, which is a very popular health insurance program right now, but you got to be 65 years of age to get into it. And all that I'm trying to do is over a 4-year period is the first year we're going to expand Medicare to cover hearing aids, dental care, eyeglasses, and home health care. Second year, that's a big deal. Home health care is a big deal. Second year, we're lowering, first year we lowered the eligibility age from 65 down to 55. Next year, 45. Next year, 35. And then every man, woman, and child has health care in this country as a human right. That's it. That's what we got to do.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.